I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out in 11th grade. I've been homeless 3 times through the course of my life. I've lost too much over my life by not being able to effectively communicate with the people around me and the people I care about. Because simple conversations, they can change people's lives and they can change the direction and the trajectory of your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of High Stakes with Steve Rozenberg. I say it every single time, and I'm going to keep saying it. The only way that I seem to get friends these days, I don't go out to bars. I shouldn't say I don't. I don't go out that often. But, nowadays you just meet so many amazing people, right? You go online and you see people and you're like, I wonder how that guy is, as a normal person. And being an airline pilot for the last 30 years, traveling all over the world, I've learned that every single person that walks past you or sits down next to you, whether I'm in a bar in Sydney, Australia, or having steak in Buenos Aires or whatever it is, there's someone next to you, and that person, they've got a past, they have a whole life, a trail behind them. They've got a current, which is the present, which you're in right now with them. And every single person, myself included, has a future that they have no idea what's about to happen to them in the next second of their life. So we have the moment, right? We have the present, which is why it's called a present, because it's a gift to us. And I've learned that sometimes if you just turn around and just ask the person next to you, what's your story? Like, what's your deal? You'd be shocked at the life of the person next to you, how completely different it is, but also how similar it is, and how you're probably on a very same trajectory with the person next to you, and you never even knew it. Pasts, presents, futures, all of it kind of intertwines. So today I've got a good friend of mine. His name is Jethro Hopkins, and we had him. I met Jethro actually at an event with our good friend Jason Cisneros, Build to Exit. And I met Jethro. We got along great, have obviously a background, both of us, in the real estate world. And I just thought, man, I'd love to have him on the show. He's got a great story as well as a huge event coming up that we'll talk about. But first of all, Jethro, it's good to see you, brother. Dude,
it's a pleasure, man. It's been too long since South Carolina.
It has. Well, we saw each other in Phoenix for a very, very short amount of time.
Yep. That was a good event too with Kyle.
That was good. So just tell everyone you're kind of like me. You're kind of like an onion. You got a lot of different layers to you with what you do. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'll give you the short and ugly. So what I primarily do is I'm a business broker, right? I work in mergers and acquisitions. My focus is the Main Street and the lower middle market. It's that part of the niche that brokers don't like to touch because it's your mom and pop stores, it's your family owned businesses, it's the small stuff that doesn't pay enough, and it's a ton of work. But, I've always had this firm belief, because I'm a serial entrepreneur myself, I run my own businesses, is that you have to keep small business open, because small business is what builds our communities. It's what donates to our kids' soccer teams. It's what employs our neighbors, right? When we were called inessential by the government during COVID, it was small business owners that sacrificed what they made so that they could keep feeding their employees. Big business tends to kick you out. Small business tends to sacrifice for you. So I've spent the last 15 years of my life devoting myself and the companies I build to taking care of small business, to building small business. So my brokerage, because we work with small business, is because I've heard the horror stories about how people had bad experiences when the business that they spent their whole life building and they poured all their blood, sweat, and tears into didn't get the money they thought they would, didn't give them the life they thought it would. And we've went about changing that. Meeting with Steve and meeting with Jason Cisneros and working with them. I've been working with Jason for a couple of years. We all share the same burning passion for developing small business, because without small business, we're in a lot of trouble.
I've got a lot of questions for you on this. So this is going to be good, because I've got some questions that I would like answered that maybe the guests would as well.
Let's hear
your
them.
Beliefs, right? Your how you grew up, your beliefs, your thoughts. How many of those did you have to shed, not learn, but shed, in order to step back to help the small business owner to get them where they want to go, not where you want to go, but to where they want to go? How did you do that?
You know, one of the things that stuck with me that I really had to get over in my life was when I was younger, before I ended up homeless for the first time, my mother told me that no one's coming to save me, nobody is going to help you, and you have to do it yourself. Which, I mean, that's great advice for someone that needs to take care of themselves, but that's really piss poor advice in a world that is so interconnected, where relying on the help of your friends makes the difference between success and failure. And it took me many long years to stop acting as if that I was 100% alone working in isolation. And it's a quality that's shared by most business owners. We believe we're an island, right? We're climbing the mountain alone. We're in the arena alone. Nobody understands. Nobody cares. Nobody's coming for us. And it's 100% not true. We've dedicated a lot of our time to building communities for business owners, to bring them together with people that understand what they're going through and know the mental health issues that come with being a business owner. There's only one category of person in the United States that has higher suicide rates, higher mental issue rates, mental health rates, higher divorce rates than business owners, and that's veterans. Right underneath them is us. So, you know, it's something we got to keep an eye on, especially with it being June just getting over with Men's Mental Health Awareness, because nobody's there for us until we realize that there's people there for us, and we got to stop being there by ourselves.
I think, you know, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, as we both are, we kind of put on this suit of I've got to be the one I've got to shoulder the stress. I've got to shoulder the pain. I've got to be the one. Everyone's looking at me. No one's ever actually said that to us, but that's just what we assume. And I don't know if maybe that's taught to us in school at a young age. I don't know where that was taught. I know for me, at least, you know, you get to becoming a business owner and you realize business is not anything to do with one person. It's the whole group as a whole. But the one person who doesn't seem to really get that is the small business owner. And they are the ones that are thinking, and I don't think they do it because they're lazy. I don't think they do it because they don't want to work hard, or I don't think they think that they have to do it themselves. I just don't think they were never taught. They were never told this is the formula to be successful. Because I think that if you went into people and said, hey, guy, here is the formula to make the perfect cake. This is the recipe. Most people would say, give me the recipe. I don't want to do this anymore. But I don't think there's anyone out there giving them this recipe for success until, you know, you came around and Jason and all these other guys that are doing this for them. And I that's my perspective of the challenges with the entrepreneur. It's not that they're dumb. It's not that they don't work hard. It's no one gave them the recipe. Do you agree with that, or am I off?
No, absolutely. See, the problem is almost every facet of society, modern society in the United States, as we were growing up, taught us to be employees. It taught us to be good drones in business, keep your head down, and go do your job, right? And it didn't teach us how to be business owners. That's 100% correct. And the only thing I disagree with is there's always been people like me, like Jason, like yourself, who have been trying to teach the formula. The problem is there's so many other people that are trying this one-trick pony stuff where maybe they know some marketing, maybe they know some sales, maybe they know one facet of business, and they're coming out as an instant gratification, overnight success. I'm going to change your life guru. And those are everywhere. And the noise from them drowns out the voices of the few who are actually experienced veteran business operators who have built their businesses, made their money, and now spend their days trying to teach other people how to do it. They're not flashy. They're not, you know, the Grant Cardones and what have you of the world. They're just people that have built multi-million-dollar companies, done it the right way, and are trying to show you how. And they don't care if you like them. They don't care if you buy their stuff. They just care that if you do, you do the work. Because if you don't do the work and you don't understand that it's the stupid, boring stuff done every day that makes a business, they don't want to work with you because their time is valuable and their time is weighed based on how much of a difference they can make in business owners' lives. And if you can't do the work with them, They don't want to waste their time with you because there's somebody else we can help, because there's so many people that need help and so few of us that there's always something more I can do if I can't do it with you.
Let me ask you a little bit about Jethro himself.
Okay.
Are there any regrets that you have carrying forward from your past building businesses that you're trying to let go of, that maybe in some way, form, or fashion you're trying to help these other people? I know I have some. I've got mistakes that I've made, and I'm trying to right my wrongs with other people to try to get it going. Do you have any of those?
Absolutely. My road to get here has cost me relationships. It's cost me friendships. It's cost me an absolute amount, a ton of money, learning the hard way, because I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out in 11th grade. I've been homeless 3 times through the course of my life, been divorced twice, and, technically twice. Once officially, and once we got back together, didn't get remarried, but separated after 9 years. And most of that was sacrificed on the altar of my business growth, right? And it is what it is. But what it came down to at the end of the day, it wasn't that I was spending so much time on my business. It's that I hadn't learned the core skill of how to communicate effectively with people, right? I knew how to sell someone something. I knew how to talk to my employees. I knew how to train. I knew how to market. But simple human communication, to learn how to express what is wrong, what I feel is wrong, what I don't like, and to be able to hear it from another person, was what was missing from my life. And I've learned to develop very well that I can communicate with people, that I can hear them, I can see them, and I can talk to them, because I've lost too much over my life by not being able to effectively communicate with the people around me and the people I care about. Because simple conversations, they can change people's lives, and they can change the direction and the trajectory of your life.
Yeah, it's so true, man. I'll tell you, I've got businesses that I've poured my heart and soul into, and they just didn't work. It's like selling, knitting to kittens,
Yep.
trying to teach them scuba diving. It's like, it's never going to work. There's nothing in there that's going to work. And the thing is I've always thought to myself, if I walk away from this, everyone's going to think I quit. And the reality is nobody cares. You spend so much time thinking about what other people may think, and the reality is nobody cares. And
Nope.
that's a tough thing for me to wrap my head around some days,
Steve, the thing about it is nobody thinks about you at all. When
That's
you're
so
not,
true, man.
When you're not there, because I know, except for right now, when me and you were sitting here on laptop to laptop doing this podcast, you weren't thinking about me 2 hours ago.
Yeah. I wonder what Jethro's doing today.
Yeah.
I wonder what he had for breakfast. I wonder,
We're only the center of our own universe. To everybody else, we cease to exist the minute we are not present or planning to do something with them. So why care what they think? You're supposed to fail. Failure is the only path to success. Failure is the only way that you build better neurofunction. It's the only way you get smarter and more practiced is through failure. Yeah. It's when you quit that you have a problem. But you're allowed to fail. You're allowed to burn down your business. You're allowed to fail in a relationship. You're allowed to do it. It's what makes us better. It's what makes us wiser as we get older. It's what makes that master pianist be able to play the way they play. It's because of how many times they've failed and retaught themselves how to do it. And it's an expensive process. And that's why you should work with mentors, or you should go work with coaches, or you should go do business development or read books on your own. Because it's more expensive to fail through lack of knowledge than it is to fail while having a good understanding of what you do.
It's funny. I always tell people the assumption that people have, whether it's working with someone like me or you that can help them, or them doing it on your own. I tell them, the assumption that you have is that you're not going to have to pay the bill.
Yeah.
I tell them the bill will be paid. You're either going to pay in time or you're going to pay in money, but make no mistake, the bill will be paid, and we tend to waste what we value the least, which is
Absolutely.
our time.
Most
people.
And it's the most valuable thing you got.
Yeah, and it's like you assume you're getting out of this without paying the bill.
Yeah.
The bill will be paid. How you want to do it is completely up to you. And so I agree. Now, my question is how do you transfer that, all of our knowledge, all of our information, all of the arrows that we have in our own backs from the years of getting stabbed and, whatever, how do you transfer that to the small business owner that says, dude, I don't even know you. I don't even think that you know what I need. How do you know me, Jethro? You live in Nebraska. You can't help me. How do you overcome that?
That's about having a conversation, right? Like I start every interaction with somebody that is looking for help or has business. Like every conversation I have is about business. It's my passion. Like that's where I live. That fills my cup. So usually when I'm talking to someone, I'm going to talk to them about business. I'm going to ask them what's going on with their business. You know, how's it going? Help them. What problems do you have? And I'm just going to start helping them for free, right? My thing that I've always taught my people is lead with value, right? Yeah. Nobody's going to hire you until you've shown them you care. Once they know you actually care about them in some form, like you don't have to get all sloppy about it, but they want to know that you're listening and you care. Lead with value and help them through their problem and give them a way to make money right away. Just do your first couple of hours and just, here's a way to get through your problem, and here's a way to make a little more money or save a little more money. Now, go implement that, and let me call you back in a week or two, and then let's talk about working together, right? Go take what I gave you for free. Go make some money, because now you can afford to hire me. Go make some money. If not, just take it and go. Free will. Pass it forward, play it forward to the next person. And that's usually how most of my conversations go. If you see me on the internet, I'm constantly, here's advice, here's a way to do this, here's a way to do that. I almost never am selling. I hate to be sold to, and I dislike selling other people. I like to have conversations, and usually by the end of that conversation, someone will ask me, so what's it take to work with you? Because I'm not pitching. I don't need more clients. My lifestyle is fine. I'm doing this because I want to and I want to help, but I only want to help people that want to be helped.
Yeah, I've always heard the story. Nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy.
Yep.
And we're buying, what we're buying when you think of like, my perspective with business owners is at the end of the day, right? Whether you're selling roofing, Snickers bars, tennis shoes, airlines, whatever it is you're selling, you're just using that vehicle to make revenue, to go have freedom, to go create memories with family and loved ones.
Yep.
And what I have seen over and over again, so many entrepreneurs, they get stuck with the identity of what they're doing, not why they even started it and what the result is. And I'm like, real estate is the king of this, where I'll say, so what do you do? And the answer is always, I'm a flipper, I'm a syndicator, I'm a this. I'm like, no. You're a business owner. Mm-hmm. The business creates revenue. What is the revenue you create? Don't know. What are your profit margins? Don't know. Okay, then I'll ask them the secondary question. Why are you doing this? And the standard bullshit answer I get every time is, I do this for my family. Yeah. So I say, okay, give me your phone, because I want to call your family and see, are they actually getting the results of what you just told me? Because if not, you're either lying to me or you're lying to them, but you're doing something wrong in this formula.
Yep.
And they never think about it, because they stop and they start identifying with what they do, and they forget the whole reason they're doing it.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And the biggest hurdle I have to get over with most of my clients is you are not your business, and your business isn't you. Your business is not a reflection of who you are as a person or your personal self-worth. You are not your company, because you shouldn't even be working in your company at some point. But it's not you. Your roofing company's not you. Your real estate sales are not you. It's what you do to provide. It's the machine that you have built to generate you revenue. That's all a business is. It's a box that prints money.
Yeah. It's funny. I tell people that is the reason your business has what's called an EIN number. That is their birth certificate.
Yep.
That just shows you that is treated by the government, by taxes. Everybody treats it completely separate, except you.
Yep.
Like, who do you think is right and who do you think is wrong?
You build your entire identity around this one thing that you do, this one thing that 93% of people fail at every time. 93% failure rate, and you're going to build your whole identity, your whole worldview around this one thing with a 97% failure rate, and let it determine the kind of person you are. And that is the craziest damn thing that I had to unlearn, and that I have to help my clients unlearn, is that's not true, and it's not you.
Yeah. So super excited to talk about what's going on now. We have an event coming up that I am honored that I get to hang out with you guys. Getting to meet everybody and hang out, but let's talk about that.
All right, let's talk about Cabo. So every year in September, my organization puts on an executive VIP retreat somewhere in the States or in the Caribbean or in Central America. We've been doing that for 5, 6, 7 years now. So this year, I was thinking about it. Why is it just my organization? Why is it just my people, my clients? I've met all these amazing people that run their own groups, and I have zero scarcity mindset. Me and Steve, we both operate in the same metrics. We operate in the same school of business owners. We teach similar stuff in different ways, but there's people I'm not a good fit for. There's people he's not a good fit for. The idea behind this was, let me bring these brilliant people together, these people that share this vision of how we're supposed to be helping small business and mid-sized business, and let's put it under an umbrella event. So day one in Cabo, we got Kyle Offrey and the Forge organization, right? They're going to be doing a lot of mindset, a lot of pillars of what you should be building your life around. Not business, your life. And then we got Steve on day two. Steve and the Rozenberg group are going to be running like business, operations, sales, processes, stuff like that. He is incredibly good at that. He has taken what he's learned from his lifetime of business in the airline industry, the most efficient industry that you have ever encountered, even if you do see all the flight delays and piss and moan about that. That's beside the point. You got to look at the metrics, not the exceptions. And he's going to take that and he's going to help you turn your business into a business and not something where you're just self-employed with employees. Because first thing you got to do to make a business an empire, an exitable asset, is you have to get the hell out of it. We also got Emily Cisneros, Jason's lovely wife, on day two that will be helping with the business processes and process building. She'll be leading a women's panel on day one about mindset and building the business without breaking the family. Day three, we got Jason Cisneros in the Built to Exit community, which I'm a part of, Steve's a part of, Kyle's a part of. We're all part of Built to Exit, but it's a much broader community than just us. So we're going to work on the exit, the dream, what do you do after? How do you get there? What's that look like? What do you do with scary people like me who are business brokers when you think they're all corrupt, right? How do you tell a good one? How do you not get screwed? What's it look like? How do I deal with private equity? Stuff like that. But the thing is Kyle's got his own people, and Steve's got his own people. Jason's got his own people. Me and my crew, me and Chase, we have our own crowd. And I want to bring them all together into one place, one event where all of us can bring our views, our styles together, because I don't care whether it's my person, Steve's person, Jason's person, Kyle's person. If somebody else is better for them to help them get farther faster, I want them to mingle and go off with different people for coaching or consulting or help or sales exiting or whatever they need. Because when the mission is to make a difference, it doesn't matter what capable person is the difference maker. And that's what we're doing in Cabo. We've built this in a way, because I know everybody goes to these things, they spend all day in a classroom, it's terrible, you're in paradise, but you didn't get to do nothing. That's not how we play. We're going to have this, every day is going to be done right around 3 p.m. I want you to enjoy Cabo. That's why we're there. It's going to be a vacation for you as well. You go in as business education. It's 100% tax write-off. Amazing, right? So bring your SO. Bring your kids. Bring whatever. Because 3:30 in the afternoon, go. Go play in the pool. Go play in the beaches. Go explore Cabo. Go do fishing out in the sea. I don't care. Use it as a vacation as well as a learning experience. Put it together. Maximize what you're getting for the expense. And come get your life changed and treat yourself.
The one thing I love about what you said, and it's funny, when you're around people that you just seem to gravitate towards, right? You send, I don't know if it's these signals or what we do, but it's like we think alike, right? You get around other people, you're like, we could all probably get on stage and talk, and we'll all probably say something similar without ever really talking to each other about what we're going to talk about, right? Because there's a common thread. And I always tell people, with my with my coaching and my advisory programs and solutions, I always tell people, I can have 100 people in a room and all 100 people do something different from somewhere different in the world, different trades, whatever. But at the end of the day, they're all entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. They all have challenges with payroll, customers, employees, supply, they all branding, every single one of us, just what we're marketing, product, service, concept, or idea is different. But you can't tell me that someone who has a $10 million coffee business can't talk to a contractor when they're talking about, supply chain and branding and how to work with your vendors. You can't tell me that this guy can't give him some information to go, man, that's pretty good. I should probably write that one down.
Absolutely.
And that's the beautiful thing is we get all these different mix of people. Listen, whether you're doing 50,000 a year or 50 million a year, we all have 24 hours in a day and we all have problems that we have to solve. I mean, that's really what we do. You and I get paid because we solve problems. And that's what entrepreneurs get paid for, is solving problems. So you look at this and say, okay, if I solve a bigger problem, could I make more revenue? Possibly. Yes. That's I would say that's the plan. But thinking, I can only talk to people that use a hammer and a nail, that makes no sense, because every problem is a nail and every solution is a hammer. But there's rakes, there's shovels, there's paintbrushes, and everyone in that room has a different tool set to use when you may need it. And that's what I love about these events is I love the mixing of people.
Absolutely. 90 to 95% of all business is the same. I don't care what your industry is. That's why people like me and people like Steve can do the work we do, because that little 5, 10% of the business that's different, that's your job as the owner to be specialized in. Yep. I don't know how to put a roof on a house. Could I figure it out? Maybe. Yeah. But I know how to sell a roof. I know how to deal with insurance. I know how to do marketing. I know HR. I know all of that stuff. And it is the same no matter your industry. Your business is not unique. You're not a unique, pretty flower. You're not a special. You're not. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. Anything from the sin industry to the church operates the same way, business-wise. It is what it is.
I agree. So let me ask you, people going to Cabo, if people are curious, I guess my question for clarity is, they walk in as a person with certain business. Yeah. Who do they walk out as in your mind?
So the goal, right? You can't be taught the entire encyclopedia in 3 days. It can't be done.
Exactly.
The goal is you walk in as someone who's been struggling or someone who has gotten over a milestone. Let's say you just became a 7-figure business owner and you don't know how to, you're struggling with the glass ceiling a little bit, or you just breached 10 million and you're struggling with that glass ceiling, because there are glass ceilings where what got you here won't get you there. Every good educator knows this. There are stumbling points where you no longer have the skill levels you need to expand. We want to get you mentally right, to get the mind right. You can't build if the mind's not right. And then we want to teach you what you need. And believe me, our teaching is not set in stone, because we're going to educate you on what we want to educate you, the things we think it's important that you be able to implement in your business that works regardless of what industry you're in or what size you are. Because we have implemented stuff that we're going to teach in businesses ranging from $1 million a year to $100 million a year. And it works across the board. So we're going to teach you some core strategies. And then by day 3, we want you to roadmap. We want you to be able to walk out of here with a roadmap of what your journey should look like to the exit. Because if you tell me you want to die at your desk in your company, that's absolutely terrible and disheartening. Because you should be able to have life-changing money when you leave, when you sell your business, to be able to go make a difference and live the life you wanted. And the life you wanted is not sitting at a damn desk running a business. That's just all you think there is right now.
You know, it's interesting, Jethro, is like when I talk to a lot of people and they'll say like, oh yeah, I'm doing 5 million. Well, to me, this is when I start putting in my structure hat of being an airline pilot and checklist. And I'm like, okay, fill out this checklist for me to make sure that you have the infrastructure to support a $5 million company.
Amen.
And what we find is they're a $500,000 company infrastructure wise, but they've done $5 million in sales. I'm like, you're not a $5 million company. You're a company that got lucky. But unfortunately, that weight is imploding your company because you've never created the foundation to build a $5 million business. You have a $500,000 business that is crumbling under the weight of $5 million. And so eventually you're going to have nothing but a bunch of rubble and wasted time and frustration because you never took the time to build the right infrastructure. Like you said, all businesses, I don't care what you're doing, sins to church, they all run under the same chassis. Just like a house needs a foundation,
absolutely,
an apartment building needs a bigger foundation, and a skyscraper needs a very deep foundation. Many people never even built a foundation, but they think they're going to build a skyscraper. And I'm like,
yeah, well,
it's never going to work. And we see it all the time. I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah, I see more companies die of overeating than I do from starvation.
Oh, I like that. I've never heard that before.
That happens all the time. Everybody teaches you. Sales. Go increase your sales, increase your gross revenue, increase your sales, increase your gross revenue. And you just take it all in. And then your operations crumbles, your quality crumbles, your customer service crumbles. Because it's like you said, you got a $500,000 business that's trying to do $5 million worth of work. You died of overeating.
You know, it's so funny, man. I go into offices and I'll work with companies for, a couple of days and they'll hire me to come in and I'll ask them, how's the culture? Oh, culture's great. I go, okay, great. So I'll go and I tell the owner, I don't want you to say a word. I'm going to talk to the team. First question, can anyone tell me what the core values of the company are? Nope. Can anyone tell me what is the goal of the company? What's the vision? Nope. Can anyone tell me what does the organization chart look like? Have you ever seen it? Have you seen it in the last 6 months? Nope. I'm like, I look at the owner and I'm like, so tell me again that culture is again, they that's just a flash word, but they don't have the infrastructure and they don't have the foundation. So they're never going to build a good company. It's never going to work. I tell people, like, you keep thinking that if you're holding up the northwest corner of the house, it's going to sustain it. But eventually you're going to get tired and you're going to have to set that house down or it's going to crush you. And that's what you're doing with your business. The things that you did to build a $500,000 business where you were everything is now the thing that's the bottleneck, and it is now choking your business to death. And that person is you.
Yep.
And people can't see that.
And as long as you're an integral part of your business is worth somewhere from 0 to 50% of what it should be.
Absolutely. 100%.
I guarantee it. Like, if you're the critical piece of your business, you don't have a business. You don't have a business because you're the critical piece. You have nothing.
Yeah, very well said. Well, Jethro, as we wrap this up, first question, the dates and the website for the venue.
All right, so the dates. We're looking at September 9th through the 13th. So we'll fly into Cabo on the 9th. My people will pick you up from the airport. We'll drive you to the all-expenses-paid resort, and we'll fly out on the 13th. Now, you want to find it? The website is, and I'm going to double-check just to make sure I get it right because I always mispronounce my own website. It is theorganization.vip, and then you just click on the Business Empire Builders link, and that will take you to our site. And it's real simple from there.
And we'll have it in the show links as well. But
perfect.
theorganization.vip.
Yep.
That's easy. Okay.
It's easy.
Cool. And September 9th through the 13th, I will be there. Jethro, his whole crew, Kyle, we'll have Jason Cisneros and Emily.
Yep.
It's gonna be you know what? People will not only learn a ton being there, but hanging out. I always say barvention, when you're at the bar talking to everyone and having those one-on-one conversations, man, I cannot tell you how much that has helped me personally over the last 20 years of just shooting the shit with people and having conversations. That is where the real magic happens, I always think.
Well, and most people go to these events and the speakers or the educators or whatever, they get up, they do their little thing, and then they leave.
Yeah.
Right? They go home. They fly in, they do their thing, they leave. See, at my events, my people don't leave. Kyle, Steve, Jason, me, Chase, all the other speakers, we're there from day one to the end. We're staying in the same resort as you. We're eating at the same restaurants with you. We're swimming in the same pool with you. We're at the same bars with you. These people are going to be around you the entire trip. It's not just a here, let me educate you and be on my way. We're living in each other's pockets for 5 days. You're going to see us
I love
everywhere.
it.
Have conversations with us. That's what we're here for. We're passionate about this.
I think that if somebody would have asked me a long time ago, or if I would have asked someone like you, what's the fastest way to success? It is without a doubt your circle. The people you talk to. It's not the books you read. Listen, if books made you the richest, librarians would be the wealthiest people on the planet. So that doesn't do it. You have YouTube videos and books about anything that you ever want to learn. That doesn't do it. It's information plus implementation. And you get that at these events. This is exactly where the separation between the haves and the have-nots, the ones who actually go, man, what did you learn from this? Like, dude, I don't even know. I was at these meetings and I just heard all these conversations. It was awesome. That's what you want to learn.
Absolutely. And you got to come to stuff like this because it gets you out of your comfort zone. You sit there and you do your business in your city, and this is where you're at all the time. You're the same crowd, the same people, probably the same guys you grew up with, the same people that looked down on you when you were just starting out. It's the same people. You need to get out of that. That's why we do this elsewhere. You need to get out of that. Show up here with new people, new crowd, bigger visions, bigger dreams, bigger experience. So that way you come back changed and you can implement something that you learned from a different part of the country by someone that was there, because people from different parts of the country think differently and they can give you fresh perspectives on what you're doing. You will never get better staying in your same hole.
Dude, I love it. I love it. Jethro, dude, it's always, I can't wait to come see you. One last question I always ask. If you were talking to the younger version of Jethro just getting out there in the world, what do you wish somebody would have told you?
It's one of the things I tell everybody else. You have to trust but verify, and you have to do the hard stuff you don't like every day. This is not going to be easy. This road's going to be long, and it's going to cost you a lot. But that's how it's determined whether or not you are ready for what you're going to be given. So do the work, but keep moving. Get up when you fall down. Keep moving, because you can change your course as long as you're still moving. It's when you stop, that's when you die. And that's exactly what I would have told him, because it has been a long road, and I wish there was someone like me there for him when he started, which is why I try to be the person I needed for the small business owners that I work with now.
Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right, Jethro. Good talking to you, my friend. For those of you that want to go to Cabo to see me, Jethro, Jason, Emily, Kyle, and all of our significant others are going to be there too. So they're going to be on a panel.
They're going to be on stage.
You're going to be getting everything. So give me the website again one last time.
It is theorganization.vip.
Theorganization.vip. Again, click on the link, join up. We'll be pushing it out as well. The link will be in the show notes. So again, thank you for watching, everyone. To Jethro, myself, everybody on High Stakes with Steve Rozenberg. Appreciate you, love you, and we will catch you next week with another episode. See you guys then. Bye-bye.